On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Tradition.
A belief, custom, or way of doing something that has been passed down from generation to generation within a group or society.
Examples:
A tradition of a culture. Against tradition. It is a tradition in many families to have a big Thanksgiving dinner with all their relatives.
Prescription.
A written or spoken instruction that directs a medical practitioner to prescribe a specific treatment or medication for a patient.
Examples:
Prescription drugs. Fill the prescription. I need to refill my prescription for allergy medication at the pharmacy.
Trillion.
The number 1 trillion, a million.
Examples:
Trillion cubic feet. Many trillions of dollars. 1 light year is nearly 6 trillion miles.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Relate.
To establish a connection or association between two or more things, to narrate or tell about an event, experience, or relationship, to empathize or feel sympathy with someone or something.
Examples:
Relate a story. Relate a message. He tried to relate his experience to the group, but they couldn't understand.
Aid.
Things sent to help countries in need, notably food or money, support.
Examples:
Financial aid. Country-by-country aid programs. Pakistan's aid budget was still being reviewed.
Capita.
A Latin word meaning head, used to express the amount for each person, any head or head-like expansion on a structure, as on a bone.
Examples:
Per capita sales. The agricultural yield per capita. GDP per capita shrunk by almost 10% for the third consecutive year.
Woods.
A dense area of trees and shrubs, typically forming a forest or woodland, a place of natural beauty and tranquility, a golf club used for hitting long shots, also known as a driver.
Examples:
Mystery woods. Deep woods. The woods behind the house are a great place to hike and explore.
Institutionalize.
To establish or make something a part of an institution, equals a place such as a university, hospital, etc.
Examples:
Institutionalize a system. Institutionalize customary laws. The new policy aims to institutionalize the use of renewable energy sources.
Historic.
Famous or significant in history, or potentially so.
Examples:
Historic accomplishment. Achieve the historic feat. The Chinese people have accomplished several historic feats.
Empirical.
Based on or verifiable by observation or experience rather than theory or pure logic.
Examples:
Empirical research. Empirical philosophy. The study's results were based on empirical evidence gathered from extensive research.
Economy.
The system by which a country or region produces, manages, and distributes goods and services, including the money and finances involved in these activities, of an airline, the lowest priced, most basic option for seating in commercial travel.
Examples:
Economy of scale. Economy class. The economy of the country is struggling due to the recent political instability.
Prescribe.
Of a doctor, to advise and order the use of particular medicine or treatment for someone, especially in writing, to issue commands or orders for something.
Examples:
Prescribe a drug. Prescribe in the preceding paragraph. Federal bankruptcy laws prescribe the reorganization process.
Bullet.
A metal projectile that is shot from a gun.
Examples:
Bullet wound. Bullet train. The stray bullet went through the window and hit the wall.
Microcredit.
Small loans, typically less than $50,000, given to individuals or groups, particularly those who lack access to traditional banking services, to start or expand small businesses or other income-generating activities.
Examples:
Microcredit lender. Microcredit program. The government has established a microcredit scheme to stimulate entrepreneurship and create job opportunities.
Romantic.
Of or relating to love or a sexual relationship.
Examples:
Romantic movies. Romantic breakup. It was his first romantic love.
Peasant.
A farmer or agricultural worker who owns or rents a small piece of land and grows crops, especially in a traditional or undeveloped society.
Examples:
Peasant class. Exploited peasant. Many people today romanticize the idea of the simple life of a peasant, but in reality, it was a difficult and often harsh existence.
Entrepreneur.
An individual who creates or invests in one or more businesses, especially when this involves taking financial risks.
Examples:
A successful entrepreneur. Billionaire entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs willingly accept business risks to achieve success.
Micro.
Extremely small in scale or scope, 1/1,000,000th.
Examples:
Microbubble. Microforce sensor. This approach employs both micro and macro analysis methods.
Invest.
To put money, effort, time, etc. into something to make a profit or achieve a result.
Examples:
Invest in stocks. Invest capital. The government should view children as national assets and actively invest in them.
Pan-American.
Relating to or involving all of North, Central, and South America.
Examples:
Pan-American unity. A Pan-American organization. The goal of the summit was to Pan-American efforts to combat climate change.
Business person.
A person who is engaged in business, typically as an owner or executive.
Examples:
A young businessperson. Businessperson network. He was a successful businessperson and had much experience in the field.
Contrarian.
A person who tends to oppose or reject commonly held beliefs or opinions, often for the sake of being different or creating controversy.
Examples:
Contrarian investor. Contrarian philosophy. The politician's contrarian stance on immigration has earned him a lot of supporters and detractors alike.
Bet.
To risk money on the result of an event or a competition, such as a race or game, to get more money, to have faith or confidence in something.
Examples:
Bet on a race. Bet my future. I bet that you know it.
Cellular.
Of or connected with the cells of animals or plants. Of or connected with a mobile telephone system that uses several short-range radio stations instead of wires.
Examples:
Cellular and molecular biology. A cellular phone handset. This factory employs a cellular manufacturing system.
Provider.
A person or an organization that supplies somebody with something needed or wanted.
Examples:
An information provider. The provider of the family. People select internet providers not only in terms of price, but also in terms of transmission speed.
Subscribe.
To agree to receive or support something, often through payment or regular participation. To sign up for or enroll in something, such as a publication, service, or program.
Examples:
Subscribe to the service. Subscribe a petition. I want to subscribe to the newsletter to stay up to date on industry news.
Diffusion.
A spreading motion in multiple directions.
Examples:
the diffusion of knowledge, diffusion of lightning. Due to the diffusion of television and video, cinema theaters had a small audience.
Enterprise.
A business or company, a purposeful or industrious undertaking, especially one that requires effort.
Examples:
undertake an enterprise, his business enterprise. A growing enterprise requires a bold leader.
Competition.
A situation in which someone is attempting to beat or outperform another.
Examples:
the first round of the competition, interspecific competition. Global competition is rising in virtually every industry.
Alternative.
One of two or more available possibilities or choice.
Examples:
an alternative plan. There is no other alternative. Doctors are gradually coming around to the idea of using alternative medicines.
Scenario.
A description of possible actions or events in the future, a written outline of a play, film, or literary work.
Examples:
the worst case scenario. Number of different scenarios. The president prepared several possible scenarios for an enemy attack.
Surplus.
An amount of something more than what is needed or required, excess or extra supply.
Examples:
budget surplus. Surplus of exports. The food surplus at the end of the event was donated to a local homeless shelter.
Fetch.
To go and bring back something or someone, to retrieve or obtain something.
Examples:
fetch the mail. Fetch a ball. Could you help me fetch the ball from the other side of the field?
Revenue.
The income that a government receives from taxes or that a company earns from its business.
Examples:
tax revenue. Annual revenue. This graph indicates the city's tourism revenue over 5 years.
Savvy.
The condition of being aware of and able to deal with a situation effectively. Adjective, having knowledge and understanding of a particular subject or activity.
Examples:
a savvy investor. Tech savvy. His business savvy was evident in the success of his company.
Yield.
The total output of crops, profits, etc. that are produced. Verb, to produce or supply helpful something, such as a profit, an amount of food, or information.
Examples:
corn yield. The yield on the bond. The company's stock gives a high yield.
Addition.
The act or process of adding something to something else, the process of adding numbers.
Examples:
chemical addition, addition of vectors. In addition, private corporations provide healthcare services.
Agro.
Short for agriculture, the science, business, and industry of cultivating crops and raising livestock for food, fuel, and other products.
Examples:
Agrobusiness, agrotechnology. The company specializes in producing high-quality agro products for export.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
Process improvement, decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Gluten.
A protein found in wheat, barley, and rye that is responsible for the elastic texture of the dough.
Examples:
Gluten-free diets, gluten intolerance. Many people with celiac disease must avoid gluten in their diet.
Lever.
A handle used to operate a vehicle or a machine, a rigid bar resting on a pivot so that one end of it can be pushed or pulled easily.
Examples:
A gear change lever, lever for reform. This initiative will be a lever for increasing company sales.
Modern.
Of or belonging to the present time or recent times.
Examples:
Modern poetry, pre-modern agricultural society. Their headquarters are in a modern skyscraper.
Manufacture.
To make goods in large numbers, usually in a factory using machines.
Examples:
Manufacture an enzyme, manufacture a product. The majority of synthetic vitamins are manufactured from oil.
Financing.
The process of providing funds for running a business, activity, or project. The money for a business, activity, or project.
Examples:
Financing activity, public financing. The investment fund offered financing for a company on the brink of bankruptcy.
Partnership.
The state of a cooperative relationship between people or groups, especially in business.
Examples:
Partnership across the Atlantic. Establish a partnership. The military partnership between the two countries created tension in the international community.
Extraordinary.
Exceptional, unexpected, very unusual, surpassing the ordinary or usual.
Examples:
Extraordinary ability, extraordinary weather. He narrated the extraordinary story of his adventure.
Perseverance.
Steadfastness in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success.
Examples:
Unwavering perseverance. Dogged perseverance. Despite facing numerous setbacks and obstacles, his perseverance and determination led him to success.
Scramble.
To move or climb quickly and awkwardly, often using your hands to help you.
Examples:
Scramble my mind. Scramble for support. Local business owners scrambled to find skilled workers.
Confer.
To have a meeting or discussion, to come to a decision or agreement or exchange ideas, to bestow something.
Examples:
Confer degree. Confer honor. The leaders of the two countries met to confer on the issue.
Frank.
Honest and sincere, open and candid in expression.
Examples:
Frank and open discussion. Make a frank apology. Full involvement means frank and prompt responses.
Consult.
To seek or get advice or information from a person, book, or other source having special knowledge on a particular subject.
Examples:
Regularly consult with a doctor. Consult my wallet. Always consult a lawyer before launching a business.
Massive.
Enormous amount, very heavy and solid.
Examples:
Massive amounts. Massive stars. The recent economic downturn has resulted in massive layoffs.
Fragment.
A small piece or part broken off or detached.
Examples:
Fragment of a text. A broken fragment. The archaeologist carefully pieced together the tiny fragments of pottery found at the dig site.
Sovereign.
A king or queen.
Examples:
Sovereign wealth fund. A sovereign state. King George was the sovereign of England.
Cape.
A type of long, loose outer garment that covers the back, shoulders, and arms, a headland or promontory extending into the sea or other large body of water.
Examples:
Cape Cod. Red cape. The superhero wore a flowing cape as part of their costume.
Grant.
To agree to give or allow somebody.
Examples:
Grant a new license. Grant a land. The chairperson granted him the right to speak.
Barrier.
A fence or other obstruction that makes it hard to move or get in, any condition that makes it difficult to make progress or to achieve an objective.
Examples:
Cost barrier, information barrier. The police placed a barrier across the street to halt traffic.
Impediment.
A hindrance or obstruction in doing something.
Examples:
Have a speech impediment. Biological impediment. The language barrier was an impediment to their communication.
Ancestor.
A person from whom one is descended, a forefather.
Examples:
Ancestor language. Earliest human ancestor. My remote ancestor immigrated to the United States from Ireland in the 1800s.
Continent.
One of the Earth's large landmasses. Adjective, abstaining from your feelings, especially your desire to have sex.
Examples:
The inland of a continent. Continent urinary diversion. Flight across the continent was a daring adventure in its day.
Opportune.
Suitable or happening at a time that is suitable or convenient for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Opportune occasion. An opportune remark. The phone rang at the most opportune time.
Outweigh.
To be heavier, more significant, or more critical than something.
Examples:
Outweigh the benefit. Outweigh our wishes. The advantages would undoubtedly outweigh the disadvantages.
Expand.
To increase or to make something greater in size, number, or importance.
Examples:
Expand a lineup. Expand agricultural output. They hope to expand their business worldwide.
Empower.
To give someone the power or authority to do something.
Examples:
Empower my life. Empower the secretary to do the same. The company empowered employees to buy low-price items without approval to achieve efficient purchasing.
Achieve.
To successfully complete a task or goal, often through hard work, perseverance, and dedication, to attain or accomplish something that one has set out to do.
Examples:
Achieve success. Achieve milestones. I will work hard to achieve my goals and realize my dreams.
Forebear.
An ancestor or a precursor.
Examples:
A forebear of one of the tribes. Forebear predecessor. His forebear was one of the first settlers in the area.
Meaningless.
Having no meaning, direction, or purpose.
Examples:
A meaningless endeavor. Do a meaningless task. This experiment's results are meaningless because the other conditions are not identical.
Indigenous.
Someone or something that is native to or occurring naturally in a particular place.
Examples:
Indigenous crop. Indigenous peoples. The indigenous plants need to be pollinated by local insects.
Wealth.
A large amount of money, property, or other things that someone or an organization owns.
Examples:
Majority of his wealth. Material wealth. The wealth inequality was unavoidable.
Desperately.
In a way that shows a lack of hope and a willingness to do anything because of the problematic situation, with great urgency.
Examples:
Desperately anxious. Desperately ill patient. The baby clung desperately to her mother.
Rhetoric.
Speech or writing intended to please or persuade someone, the art or study of using language effectively and persuasively in spoken or written form.
Examples:
The rhetoric of a debate. High-flown rhetoric. He was known for his powerful rhetoric and ability to persuade people with his words.
Contrast.
To put in opposition, to show or emphasize differences.
Examples:
Contrast with a decade ago. Contrast two things. It's intriguing to compare and contrast the two authors.
Innovative.
Introducing or using new methods, ideas, etc.
Examples:
Use of innovative technology. Stylistically innovative works. The Prime Minister stressed the need to create innovative industries.
Pyramid.
A polyhedron having a polygonal base and triangular sides with a common vertex, a massive monument with a square base and 4 triangular sides, begun by Cheops around 2700 BC as royal tombs in ancient Egypt.
Examples:
Pyramid architecture. A truncated pyramid. The Egyptian pyramids consist of a vast number of blocks.
Marshal.
A military officer of high rank or a person in charge of organizing or leading a parade or public event, a law enforcement official or officer responsible for maintaining order and enforcing regulations. Verb: to organize, arrange, or gather together resources, information, or people in a deliberate and systematic manner.
Examples:
Marshal the books into their proper places. Deputy marshal. The event organizer appointed a professional marshal to manage the flow of traffic.
Revitalization.
The process of giving new life or energy to something.
Examples:
Revitalization project. Revitalization of humanity. The revitalization of the downtown area brought new life to the community.
Donation.
A voluntary gift of money, service, or ideas that are given to a person or an organization, or the act of giving them.
Examples:
Make a donation. Political donation. He made a generous donation to the charity.